Hey, what up, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything, and I just got finished watching the second episode of The Idol. And yes, 2 episodes down, and I still feel the same way. I still feel nothing but stress and anxiety watching certain things in this series so far. So let's get into it. We see the opening scene where we have Jocelyn is excited about this whole situationship thing she has going with Tedros. So she calls an impromptu meeting. Pardon me. Calls an impromptu meeting so she can, with her team, and she wants to introduce this brand new remix that Tedros helped her make. It doesn't sound like the poppy version we remember in the first episode. It's definitely more sexual. You hear sexy moans and breathing as she's trying to, as the recording is going through the same lyrics. And, long story short, while everybody else is trying to find a nice way to break it down that they're not feeling it, which it was kind of ass. But Nikki held no punches and let her know that, this is a no-go. We ain't playing it, this and the third. And when she went on her rant, you can't really blame her. I'll speak for myself. I don't blame her. She's talking about bringing up her mom about how, you the one that said you wanted to come back, sooner than expected after, your mom's death, and after you took some break from the nervous breakdown. And we spent millions of dollars on, tour money. Pretty much, we spent all these millions of dollars trying to get you these hits. So ain't no way in hell we trying to just go off of your brainstorming and introduce a new song. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame her for that. Granted, yeah, I just don't blame her for that. I know like there's an alternative where you could possibly, let's just add this remix song like maybe as a bonus track to an album or something. But Nikki was like not hearing none of that. So once again, the way she broke it down made complete sense. We invested all this money in you. You can't just be trying to do your own thing at this point. We got to get back the money we invested in you. So, and then, the part that was really stressful to me, we definitely get to the video shoot for the initial single, the way it was originally made. And then, it was rough to watch. First off, the thing was just a shit show from the start. First off, we realized that Jocelyn is 3.5 hours late to her own video shoot because they had to airbrush her inner thighs, which was, was bleeding with cuts because she did the whole freaky thing with putting a glass full of ice between her legs and playing. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And so we got that going on. So you're already 3.5 hours late, and then you want to play perfectionist with the playback view and this and the third. Even though the director herself was like, she sounded like she liked a couple of the first early takes in the first place, and it just went from bad to worse from that from that video shoot. And I really felt like that took up a good more than half of the episode. Which I will say, I understand that there's other developments going on during certain events, but I feel like in 2 episodes now, the first half of both episodes has really been, occupied with just, at least, let me just talk to this episode. This episode was just occupied with predominantly the damn video shoot, and as she keeps trying to do it over and over again, the steps is getting sloppy. Next thing you know, she's about to have on the verge of another breakdown. I swear, it feels like it's almost like her mental state is just being held together by chewing gum and scotch tape or something. Like it's not looking good for her. You know what I'm saying? At one point, she's calling out for her mom, so now her team is getting worried. And of course, the one thing that did come from this, disaster of a video shoot, we're starting to get more details about Tedros. And of course, I don't think it was supposed to be made as like a surprise. Tedros is clearly some type of a scammer. The homegirl Destiny is breaking down the chain. I hope I'm saying that right, about what she found out. Tedros owes a lot of people a lot of money. The most that she could find out from him, that his most recent place of residency was Hawaii. And after that, like, he has almost like no existence, no identity. He's almost like he fell off the map. There is no other type of information on Tedros outside of him, living in Hawaii. And for some reason, his first and last name is Tedros. It's literally Tedros. So, so we definitely get more information with that. And the photo shoot is going so bad that Nikki just calls it. Hey, just go home. You're a wreck. We'll try again tomorrow. And I think one of the things that we are going to get in this series, I think this series is really showing us how the music industry can literally cheer you up one day and spit you out the next. And we're kind of seeing that process of what may be soon to come throughout this series. And the reason why I bring that up, because Jocelyn is screwing up so bad, Nikki on the low is asking about the head choreographer, Dyanne, and was like, oh, she got these moves down packed. She's so sharp, but can she sing though? Takes her to, has one of her assistants taken to another room. And next thing you know, she wants to sign Dyanne behind Jocelyn's back. So you kind of see this, like it might be this unwilling passing of the torch. It's like, okay, Jocelyn is becoming more and more of a mess. So as a management team, I can't rely on Jocelyn, but we have Dyanne, who is this amazing choreographer, and she can sing. Yeah, like it seems like the team, or at least Nikki, is going to try to, hitch her wagon to Dyanne and perhaps get off. Oh yeah, and how can I forget? Apparently Dyanne is down with Tedros too. Dyanne is talking to Tedros like, oh my goodness, you're doing more than just making a song with Jocelyn. I know she's not a better lay than I am. Like what you doing? So, and apparently, after she tells Tedros that Nikki wants to sign her, Tedros was like, yo, tell Nikki to call me so we can negotiate, so I could, have some type of return on investment in you. So it just seems like Jocelyn is about to be one of the biggest mark ever within the series. So I really feel like we're getting that. And another thing in entertainment industry, it feels like it's another example of how people can be out there to screw you over. And we're definitely seeing this with this whole approach from Tedros. And that's another thing. Tedros, I don't know what him and his team is up to, but damn. That scene was probably the one that had me in question, that has to be in question the most. It's like your man Izaak is in his Speedos doing some type of stripper moves for these women who are looking. This is at the club. I guess this is mostly like an intense practice or something. And then you got Tedros zapping dude with like this remote control taser or whatever, making sure he gets these stripper moves right. So it's just nasty. That was just weird. And yeah, and then we finally get the final scene, or I guess, yeah, I'll say finals, not final scene, but you know what I'm saying. Final part to this episode, Tedros and his crew, goes to Jocelyn's crib, and it just feels like it's just like a whole game plan of just, we about to scam this pop star out of whatever we can, and it just seems like the inevitable is going to happen by the end of the series. So anyway, they go to the house, and you got this girl Chloe who's just running around the house naked, skinny dipping. Izaak seems to be has this trained assignment to seduce Leia, who is the best friend and personal assistant of Jocelyn. And of course, you got the one-on-one time with Jocelyn and Tedros. So definitely quite the freaky night, as we see a couple things go down. Izaak with Leia, and of course Tedros and Jocelyn are doing their freaky eyes wide shut thing. So yeah, man. And of course we ended with this sad, cryptic song about dysfunctional families. Is the best way I'll put it. So definitely a lot to unpack in this episode. Yeah, Still going to give it some more time. I think the storyline is interesting yet predictable. I feel like it's interesting because, as I mentioned before, I really feel like it's going to be something where it's kind of teaching you a lesson of how the entertainment industry can chew you up and spit you out. And also, on the other hand, you have people who will seek you out just to take advantage of you. And so if she's already on the verge or on edge of possibly another breakdown, who knows what unfortunate things lie ahead for Jocelyn. And I'll just leave it at that. Love it or hate it, folks. That's my review. Peace.